everybody, Coach Knack here again, episode 6 of Hoops College Live. This will be our last episode, at least for now, in talking about recruiting services and why they're a waste of time and money. We've talked a lot about different reasons, from their profiles to connecting with coaches and then their evaluations of talent and how they don't really know what coaches are looking for, among other things. It all comes down to this. 15 years ago, maybe recruiting services had a place. The internet was different. Social media was different. And so maybe there was a need for them to help you in different ways. But technology changes. And it's changed a lot in the last 10 to 15 years. And so if you don't keep up with technology, you get left behind. And I feel like what's going on right now is we have people who didn't grow up with a cell phone, people who didn't grow up with the internet and computers, who are still in a mindset of, oh, we have to have recruiting services, or I can make money as a recruiting service, or whatever. You know that you can go to your phone and find anything you want. You do it all the time, whether it's on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Google, Yahoo, whatever, Facebook, whatever you use, you're constantly looking for information, absorbing information, taking in content. That's why we're doing this, is to provide you content, because that's what you look for. And so you don't need anybody else to do this for you. You just need maybe a little bit of guidance in what you should be doing, or what are some things that you need to look out for? What are some do's and don'ts in talking with coaches or emailing coaches, or getting your exposure or whatever. And so we understand that recruiting is marketing. That's all it is. It's building your brand. And so there are some people out there who don't need a lot of help with their brand because they're LeBron James, or they're the number one draft pick in next year's lottery. When you're that level, you don't need a recruiting service. You don't need help with your brand. But that's a very, very small percentage of the athletes that are out there, maybe 50 to 100 who really don't need any help because they're that good. But for the majority of us, we're not that level. You're not that good. And so it's important that you brand yourself in a way that is positive, not only from an uplifting standpoint, but that you expose yourself in a way that represents yourself well. So that's what we want to help you learn how to do. You can talk to coaches just as well as I can, so do that. There's all the buzz these days is entrepreneurship, owning your own business. Well, there's no better practice or training in learning how to build your brand and build a business than getting yourself a scholarship, getting yourself recruited, learning how to market yourself and brand yourself. Don't wait until you graduate college. Start now. You can do it literally every single day. You are doing it whether you realize it or not. You have a brand, and if you're not intentional and conscious about what that brand is, then you're hurting yourself. Not to mention wasting money paying somebody else to try to build that brand for you, when no matter what brand a recruiting service builds for you, you still have your own brand that they're not helping you with, they're not consulting you on. They're just, it's two different messages that are getting sent out. So you're already sending one message through your social media, through whatever's on you about the internet, on YouTube, on whatever I can go to Google and type in about you, that's your brand. And so if you're not conscious about controlling the content that is out there about you, making sure that is good content and it represents you in the way that you want to be represented, and then actively building relationships with coaches, seeking out ways to help you with your recruitment, then what are you doing? You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you really don't want a scholarship that bad because you want somebody else to do it for you. Well, that's not how the world works these days. If you want it, you have to go get it. And you shouldn't have to spend money to do that. Now, yes, you might have to spend money going to a camp or going, to play in an exposure event or these kinds of things. But that's where we want to help you figure out which camp should you attend, which event should you attend. Because you can't attend all of them. You don't have the money to attend all of them. And you shouldn't have to attend all of them. But there are certain events, teams, schools that fit you, that don't fit the next person. And that's what we want to help you with. We're not a recruiting service. We're not here to build a profile for you and contact coaches for you. You can do that yourself. We want to help you be educated on the recruiting process, on what you should do and what you shouldn't do for your goals, for your dreams, for what you're trying to accomplish. But then at the end of the day, it's up to you to do the work. It's up to you to be good enough. It's up to you to represent yourself, whether it's at an exposure event, in your emails, on your high school teams, whatever it is. It's up to you to be the player that wants to be recruited at the level that you want to be recruited at. So, we hope this has been helpful for you. We're going to keep providing more and more content every single day about all different kinds of stuff. But let's sum it up right now for this series. Don't spend your time and money with recruiting services. For the most part, it's a waste. And I would rather you take that time and money and use it to build your own profile, build your own brand, do your own work, and then use that money to maybe go to an extra camp, go to an extra exposure event, pay for your books, maybe if that scholarship doesn't cover those. So have a good day, and we'll talk to you again soon.